Welcome to the Tea Huddle with Marisa and Kelly.
Your only source for gridiron gossip. If you're like me and you love football,
or if you're like me and you love gossip,
then you're in the right place.
Well, we all know what I want to talk about first. But before we get into it, Kelly, give us the highlights of week 10.
So in week 10, a ton of games ended in a last-second field goal to win the game.
It was exciting. As somebody who tunes out a lot, it got me back in.
Pick, yeah, it really brings all the audience back in. The Vikings kept up their winning streak without Kirk Cousins or Justin Jefferson. The Giants got pummeled by the Cowboys again. So far, they're down 89-17 on the season against the Cowboys.
That's so bad.
And the Ravens got upset by the Browns. We love an upset sometimes. It's a little exciting.
Yeah.
Except that I want the Ravens to win the Super Bowl.
They have to. They have to get there.
For no reason other than
so that Kelly predicts the future is accurate. Mm-hmm.
And the Patriots should have saved themselves a trip to Germany because that was really hard to watch.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Every week it gets harder and harder.
You think it might get easier. You might get
I'm
used
hoping,
to it,
but now at this point I'm rooting for them to lose every game to get that first
maybe it'll
round
surprise
pick.
you. Oh, a rebuilding year. That's something I hear people say.
We might as well.
Yeah,
just kidding. I would never root for that, but
I won't hold it against you.
Maybe I will. But we know we have to chat about something even more exciting, and I agree with this. This made my weekend
more exciting, something more important, something more newsworthy. It is finally time to get to the Travis and Taylor of it all. What we've been waiting for.
Yeah, I noticed your sweatshirt seems very appropriate for this week.
How could you not?
It was Taylor's week.
It was. We haven't really decided Trailer, Travis, whatever, but it was the week of that. It was the Chiefs' bye week, so Travis Kelce was free to fly down to Argentina for Taylor Swift's show, and boy, did he.
Boy, did he.
We predicted it weeks ago. We knew when we started looking at when I learned about what a bye week was.
We did. We started looking. We looked at this immediately and we knew.
I do think I'll say now that I got the dates wrong, and I thought his bye week was week 12 and that she would be in Brazil. We did. But that's fine. We knew that when he had the opportunity to trade places and be watching her in the stands, that he would take it, and it exceeded my wildest expectations.
Me too.
So she resumed the Eras tour after a short hiatus in Argentina. Her first night was Thursday night. We were expecting Travis to be there. He was not there. I was a little bit shocked, a little bit.
He had a good reason, though. He's a good guy.
He's a good guy. He was at his good friend and his quarterback, Patrick Mahomes' charity event to support children in communities in need. And Taylor, like the supportive girlfriend she is, donated the platinum record from her song 15 to the charity auction.
Okay.
So
she's good friends with
Brittany
now.
Yes.
So.
Oh my God. Real quick. I don't think we've talked about this. Some tweets of Brittany Mahomes about Taylor Swift from like 2016. Don't quote me on that year, but like a really long time ago came out, and people are like, oh, are we going to hate her? They're like innocuous. It's just like, is Taylor Swift ever going to write about anything other than like boyfriends? And there's only 3. One of them is Patrick says, shake it off like Taylor Swift, which is neither here nor there. And then the other one is like Taylor Swift winning everything, less than symbol with like an angry face emoji. So she was a hater in the past, which it's fine. She wasn't like, fuck Taylor Swift or like, you fucking suck. I hope you never date my husband's best friend.
Still not a good look.
Not a great look. So that came and went. Anyway, back to the good stuff. The second night, she was supposed to have a show. He flew in. We saw him. His jet departed, made its way to Argentina. She had to cancel her show because of weather.
I know. Yeah, he landed and then like canceled right after that.
So like, did they just want to snuggle?
I know. I'm like, I don't think the weather was. I mean, she's played in the rain before. If he wasn't there, maybe she would do it again. But now she doesn't need to hide her tears in the rain. So
nobody's crying.
She's not doing that again.
So she posted that like it would be dangerous to have the show. So they had to cancel it. I thought we wouldn't see them. They would be like snuggled up in the hotel. They go to a restaurant with her dad. They walk through the restaurant holding hands. And
I love how her dad's there. Like we've seen Taylor hanging out with Travis's mom, and now Travis is with Taylor's dad. It's like full circle.
It's a whole family affair. Everybody's involved.
Yeah, they fit so well with each other's families.
It's really nice. They're walking through the restaurant and it's like people don't know what to do. They're overwhelmed. They just start applauding. But like nothing happened. They're just applauding like, look at you, applaud for love. So I thought, this is great. We saw them holding hands. We know he went there. Maybe we'll get like a video of him smiling at the stage. I'll be satiated. I thought that was all we needed. Oh my God. Blown away.
We got way more than that.
Way more. So the next night he goes to the concert. He's in the VIP tent, the friends and family tent, with Scott Swift, her dad, who's rocking a Chiefs lanyard around his neck.
First thing I noticed, I was dying.
The internet is so funny. There's all these tweets about like, you didn't see him wearing a Conversations with Friends lanyard, which is about the show that didn't do well that her ex-wife was in.
Too much. That doesn't exist.
So like he's watching the show. He's got a ear-to-ear grin on his face. She keeps pointing at him during lines like, that's my man. She points at him. You know, I love the player. She points at him. That's
what she meant. The football player, not the player.
He's her player in the good way, not the bad way. Then early on in the night, one of the songs in the first era is Archer. And it's, who could ever leave me, darling, but who would stay? And so the fans have decided, like the Swifties got together and they'll all hold up signs that say, we will stay. Because it's about like, no one ever loves me enough to stay. Tragic. Yeah. So they made signs, we will stay. And somebody must have handed Travis one of them. So he's holding up a sign, we will stay. It's all good. It's all exciting. She has, I missed a part. Let me go back really, really quick. So as I think I've mentioned before, each one of her shows has surprise songs where it's 2 songs each night that she does acoustic, and they're different songs every night. Other than that, the show is really the same from night to night. So the first night when he wasn't there, but it was her first show since all of this happened, she sang, one of her surprise songs was Labyrinth. And there's the whole chorus is I'm falling in love again, and she's singing it and her face is lighting up and she's smiling.
I saw
and
this
like
clip.
She is falling in love again. So then fast forward to night 2, one of the surprise songs she did was Endgame, which is all about like, I want to be your end game, like I want to end up with you, like we're end game. Hello, he's her end game. And the LED bracelets that the whole stadium wears during songs that change color for each song were lighting up red
and yellow
Gold. During Endgame, the Chiefs colors.
Yeah, I noticed that. I feel like I noticed that like throughout the show was Chiefs colors. Whenever it was like boyfriend, it'd be like a Chiefs color. But especially in Endgame, I saw that.
She does not hold back. She's not playing hard to get. She's not keeping it close to the chest. She's all in.
She is. I was surprised, but I loved it.
I love it too. Like free fall. Nothing is more fun than falling in love. Like, get after it, Taylor. You know, she feels her feelings deeply. That's sort of like her whole thing. Yeah. And right now what she's feeling is love.
And we've all known this, and now she's actually announcing it and showing it. So.
Screaming it from the rooftops. So then something happened that really, I think, changed the course of their lives, our lives, history, you might say. She's nearing the end of the show. She's at the song Karma. And instead of saying the line, Karma is a guy on the screen coming straight home to me, she shocks us all by saying, Karma is a guy on the Chiefs. Oh,
and honestly, it sounds so much better.
It does. Who needs a guy on the screen when you have a guy on the Chiefs?
Yeah.
We see, because everybody's filming everything, so we see him react to it. He's like, Taylor Swift's dad is screaming. He's clapping. Travis throws his hands over his face.
He's blushing so hard.
So hard. It's very reminiscent of when she threw her hands over her face and threw her head back in the convertible only a few weeks ago, but it honestly feels like a lifetime ago at this point, when she went to her first Chiefs game before Karma was a guy on the Chiefs. So we thought
they just surprise each other, make each other laugh, and
just wear their hearts on their sleeve. Then when the night is over, she runs off stage into his arms, kisses him.
I love this part. Yeah,
Felt
this part is part of the show.
It was part of the show. Yeah. This is all part. This is performance theater.
No, he had his hands behind his back, like didn't know how she would want to approach him, and he went for it. And then he like turned around from the camera just to like make it seem a little bit more private. Like he's so tall, like he's turned around, like and like put his arm over his shoulder, like walked right off. Like it felt really like intimate and in front of everybody at the same time.
We've seen more angles of this kiss than maybe anything in history. We've seen it in slow motion. We've seen it from behind. We've seen it from far away. We've seen it in HD. I've watched it over and over again. I can't get enough. It feels like somebody online said it feels like we're living in fan fiction, and they're right. It feels like we're living in a rom-com.
It's true.
We're living in like
rom-com.
a childhood, a young girl's fantasy is a little bit what it feels like. And
just big smiles from every angle.
Oh, it was just really exciting. The next day, he got on a private plane to head back to the States with a bag of McDonald's.
He looked so sad the next day heading back because they won't see each other for a while now.
No, not for a while. End of November, she's done with this stretch of tour. But then she has a little bit of a break.
Okay. Yeah.
So is she going to be at games?
Oh, yeah.
Probably.
Definitely.
So, a lot of games. Are they going to realize that like spending more than one day at a time together, they don't actually really like each other that much? I hope not.
No,
definitely not.
Definitely not.
No chance. And it was just the greatest night of content since her original night at the Chiefs game.
It's true. And we knew it would happen.
We really did. We have only ever seen Taylor Swift kiss a boyfriend. There are 2 instances in the history of Taylor Swift. That's it. One was Connor Kennedy on like a paparazzi shot. And one was her in the water on vacation with Joe Alwyn on like long lens, like a grainy picture of them in the water kissing.
Wow. So she's like not a PDA girly.
No. Until now.
She's loud and proud.
She's giving us everything we want, need, and desire. And I wish them the best. I can't wait to attend their wedding. Invite us.
Yeah, we'll be there.
In less exciting news, but also very online. So Isaac Rochelle, he was on the Raiders, but maybe just the practice squad?
Yeah, he was on the Raiders, and then, he was on the Raiders practice squad.
So, like, not a star quite like
he's been on a few different teams, but recently on the practice squad for the Raiders.
Him and his wife Alice, she goes by Allison Kutch online. Her last name is longer than that. It's like Kutchnisic, but we'll call her Allison Kutch. They are the TikTok couple of the NFL. Yeah,
I remember following them during the off season because he would give a lot of like tips and tricks and background on what was actually happening.
Yeah, like a day in the life of an NFL player and an NFL wife, or like this is what it's like when you get traded and you have to move, or this is what NFL players eat in a day.
How it feels for the trade deadline and all of that.
They're very sweet. They're very relatable, and they've grown a huge online presence, and the people love her and the people love him. Breaking news, he just got dropped by the Raiders. So
they picked up Jack Jones, who was dropped from the Patriots, and they picked him up instead of and cut Isaac.
Oh, is he a defensive end?
Yes.
Oh, so they've
taken his
there's
spot.
Only a room for one.
Yeah, it's upsetting. They're expecting a daughter next month.
Yes, very pregnant. I mean, the good news is that they have massive online following, so I don't think that they'll be like
and he was always really proud of his wife's TikTok. And I'm sure they'll be fine.
Yeah, but
and who knows, people can be picked up any day. So maybe he'll go to a new team,
maybe somewhere where they'd rather live and raise their daughter than Las Vegas.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And we have another arrest on our hands, so it's time for
Step Out of the Car. Step out of the car, Michael Thomas. Step out of the car.
Well, this one's wild. On Friday night, Michael Thomas, who is a wide receiver for the New Orleans Saints, was arrested on a criminal mischief charge.
Oh, sounds a little bit
mischievous.
Sounds mischievous.
For throwing a brick through someone's car window. So apparently,
mischievous.
apparently Mr. Thomas, was upset with a man doing construction on a house next door to him.
I hate
and
when people do construction on a house next door to me.
It's loud. And he threatened to throw something at the cars parked outside of his house.
So they were doing construction at a neighbor's house, and they kept parking in front of his. And he's like,
he kept
it.
Yeah, he was complaining, I guess, for a few days. And he must have gotten fed up on Friday because he threw not one, but 2 bricks through this person's car.
I mean, he made his point.
Which apparently didn't do too much damage on the car.
Oh, good thing.
I wonder what kind of truck it
got
was.
A weak arm, or it's a strong windshield.
Yeah.
He's just a wide receiver. He doesn't throw
the
ball.
He
usually.
just catches
it.
And Travis, we know you're building a house in Kansas City, so watch out for your neighbors.
Yeah,
hide the bricks.
Make sure. We know you have really nice cars. We've seen at least 2 or 3 of them.
We don't want that to happen. But Michael Thomas still ended up playing on Sunday against the Vikings.
The NFL doesn't care about bad behavior.
Yeah, they're still kind of waiting to see what his legal team said and what happened. But maybe they should have set him out because he left with a knee injury.
Ooh, tough week for Michael Thomas.
Yeah.
People are parking in front of his house.
Knee injury.
Arrests.
Whew. Not good. And Derek Carr, who is currently the quarterback of the Saints, he has had so many of his wide receivers get arrested. It's like 4 of them.
We talked about one of them just a couple weeks ago. The guy speeding home from CVS.
Yeah, Chris Olave speeding home from CVS.
Yeah.
That was 2 weeks ago. And then previously, when he was on the Raiders, he saw AB, Antonio Brown get arrested for things we don't have even time to cover on this episode.
Yeah,
the list goes on and on.
A whole episode for Antonio Brown's mischief. We'll just skim right over that one for today.
And Henry Ruggs is another wide receiver who has been arrested.
What did he do?
This one's very, very upsetting, actually. In 2021, he was arrested on a DUI that resulted in someone's death.
Yikes.
Apparently, he was driving 150 miles per hour.
Do we think Derek Carr is some sort of a tie between all of these?
There's one meme I saw that was like all of his wide receivers are getting arrested to avoid playing with him. But it's not really working because they're still playing. So.
Yeah. Maybe the quarterback's supposed to be like the leader. They're supposed to be like the guy. The guy.
Yeah.
He needs to have a word with some of his people.
I agree.
We actually got a second arrest this week.
Wee.
Yeah. This one, unfortunately, not as fun as throwing bricks through somebody's windshield. Zay Jones, who is a Jaguars wide receiver, was arrested Monday evening on a domestic battery charge following a fight with the mother of his child. His bond was
on
set.
Our shit list.
Yep. You're on the list.
I don't need to hear
Zay
the rest.
Jones. You know who's not on the list? Michael Thomas. Because sometimes you throw a brick through somebody's car. Nobody was in the car.
The car was fine.
The car was fine. He warned them. Not that he should do it, but it takes a lot to get on the list. And something that gets you on the list is assaulting the mother of your child, which Zay Jones did this week. On the list. Got in a fight. His bond was set at $2,503, which sounds very specific, but I'm sure they have some sort of rhyme or reason for getting to that number. An arraignment is scheduled for December 6th. I wonder, knowing the NFL, he'll probably play between now and then, but we'll keep an eye
they always
out.
wait until it's finalized. But.
According to the incident report, Jones and the woman, the victim, got into an argument after she said she was taking their child back to Orlando, which is where she lives. The violent part of the incident was redacted from the report, but it does say that scratches were found on her neck. The Jaguars said, "We are aware of the situation and are in the midst of gathering information. We will have no further comment at this time." Which
sounds
sort of
like
tracks.
the NFL.
Yeah. So 2 arrests, 1 person added to our list. And that's this week in NFL arrests.
And in lighter news, we have our newest segment about wholesome content.
Feel good stories.
We talk about a lot of bad behavior here at the Tea Huddle, so let's mix it up with some heartwarming tales.
Yes, I'm excited for this one.
Me too.
This week, for our first wholesome story, We have Cameron Bynum, a safety on the Minnesota Vikings, who was finally able to play in front of his wife, who made it to the game.
Sweet. And not because she was busy.
Not because she was busy. Cameron married Lelaine Bynum in March. He met her a few years ago in Dubai on a trip with his family, which is kind of cute.
Mm-hmm.
And she's never been able to see Cameron play in an NFL game because she lives in the Philippines.
He's Filipino, I believe, and
Yes.
he like splits his time between there, and so they've spent a lot of time together, particularly in the off season. But she hasn't been able to have her visa sorted
She's
out.
had some visa issues. And he's been trying to get her to the U.S. After the game against the 49ers a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Cameron had a great game, and so he was spotlighted, and they had a post interview with him to talk about the game. And all he wanted to talk about was how to get his wife to the U.S.
He used his spotlight,
Used his moment. Yeah, it was
Smart.
really sweet. Yeah, really smart.
Mm-hmm.
And he tweeted about it afterwards. He said, "Does anyone have any connections to the U.S. immigration office for my wife?"
So the video went viral. His tweet got traction, and then Minnesota senators Amy Klobuchar and Tina Smith reached out to him and said they would help get her here.
I
to the
love
US.
it. Yeah, it actually worked.
Yeah, calls to action.
And she finally made it to the game. She was there before the game. She was on the sidelines with him. She looked so happy. He looked so happy.
He looked so happy.
It was really a sweet moment. And they won the game. The Vikings beat the Saints 27-19. So she had to see a good game.
Saints players are out there getting in trouble, and Vikings players are tugging at our heartstrings. So the game ended as it should.
Yeah, and he had a good game. He almost had an interception. It looked like he had one. He like intercepted, ran to the end zone, threw the ball to his wife, and then it got reversed. The call got reversed, but
the
still
sweet
great.
moment
Yeah,
stands.
still a great moment.
The points don't stand, but
Yeah,
you know.
he still had a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe no interception, but still a good game.
He gave his wife his jersey, his game jersey, right?
Yeah, at the end of the game, he gave her his sweaty jersey.
Oh,
We love when that happens.
I love that.
And so we're just happy for them. And Cameron, he seems like a good guy. He started a foundation to help support feeding initiatives in the Philippines. I'm happy for them.
Me too. I have one more feel good
Yes,
fix
let's hear
for
it.
the week. Well, first of all, my favorite part of any football game is the part at the end where they're all like, after it ends, they're all like going up to each other, like dapping each other up. They're saying hi. They're saying good game. I feel
Yeah,
like
sometimes they used to like play together potentially.
Yes.
Or
Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's like their chance to meet their idol.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was especially exciting during like Tom Brady's era because people are like, oh my God, I get to go say hi to Tom Brady at the end of the game.
yeah, the young quarterbacks.
We'll call it the good games. The time when they're at the end, they're all like, good game,
Yeah,
whatever.
good games.
I loved in Quarterback on Netflix, you got to see what they really say to each other, and
Mic'd up.
they're mic'd up. So during the good games against the Commanders and the Seahawks were playing against each other, and Logan Thomas, who's a tight end on the Commanders, was good gaming with with DK Metcalf, who's a wide receiver on the Seahawks. And he said, like, I don't know, if this means anything to you or something like that, but my 15-year-old son is a huge fan of yours. Like, he just idolizes you, whatever it was that he said. DK Metcalf
sweet.
stopped in his tracks, took off his jersey, signed it.
Yeah, he like immediately took off his jersey.
Yeah,
He's like, give this to him. I saw that too.
Yeah, it was
I love
really
that.
nice. I loved that.
We love the sweaty jersey.
We do. And it's like, what a gift to give. The sweat off of
Like,
their body.
Do you
too.
wash it or you can't because they signed it? That's
think
my question.
You can't.
You just hang.
You Febreze it a little
just
bit.
have
maybe.
it.
Yeah.
It's cool. I would. Yeah.
We
would love one.
know DK Metcalf because, well, I mean, maybe you know him because he plays football. I know him because of an interview he gave a while back where he said that like 90% of his diet is candy.
Yeah. This guy's unreal.
Yeah, he's super, super funny. He walked the interviewer through like what he
His
eats
diet,
in a day.
which
and
is nothing.
It's nothing. He's like, I work out all day. I don't eat. At 4:00, I have a coffee. And then I eat 3 bags of candy. He talked about what kinds of candy he likes. And then he said, I have dinner and I go to bed. We just love a quirky man. And he's a quirky man.
Could see if it was like, I don't know, maybe some like chocolate, peanut butter candies, but it was like
Gummies.
gummy worms.
He loves the
and
gummies.
It's just pure sugar. Like there's no protein in
No, you would think these men, they're athletes, that they have nutritionists, that they have like, macros that they have to hit. No, this man has candy.
Yeah, I'm
That's
a little
what he
worried about
has.
him, but
So
it's working.
He's a sweetheart. He loves candy. I love him. And so does Logan Thomas's son.
And we love a heartwarming story.
Yeah. Transition alert. Unlike DK Metcalf, most people like to save candy to be more of a dessert after a meal. And the dessert to the meal of the tea huddle is the final goss.
Final goss.
All right, Marissa, what do you have for us today?
Today, I have the rumblings, the rumors of a rift at the Buffalo Bills between quarterback Josh Allen and his star wide receiver, Stefon Diggs. We hear that the boys are beefing.
They are beefing. We love a beef. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Bills, there are a lot of things wrong with the Bills right now. I don't know what is going on. Maybe it's all starting with this rift between Josh and Stefon, but something's got to change. And everyone's realizing this because running back Latavius Murray, who it's his first year on the Bills, and he's noticing that there's issues here.
Yeah.
He called a player-only meeting, which is a big deal in the NFL, apparently.
Apparently. I thought it was just like, hey guys, like, let's meet up, let's talk about things. But it's not. It's like, if you're calling players only meeting, like, there's trouble.
Yeah. Historically, it means that a coach is going to get fired.
Oh, they're meeting to talk about a coach, probably.
I guess so.
Well, it did happen.
It did happen.
A coach
yeah.
got fired.
Ken Dorsey, the offensive coordinator, was fired immediately after the loss on Monday against the Broncos. So, I mean, that's what happens in a players only meeting. But I'm sure other things were discussed about this riff. I wonder if they're trying to repair the damage or...
Before the players only meeting was made super public, we found one source that I wasn't even sure was reliable that said there was a players only meeting. And I was like, can't be true if only one person is saying it. Was true because now it's being picked up everywhere. And the source that we read it from originally said that the meeting was about Josh Allen and Stefon Diggs. Like, they're not vibing. And you have to vibe with your main guy who's catching your ball. Or a more eloquent, sporty way to say that.
Yeah, your main receiver.
Your main receiver. That's what it is. So
or maybe they just decided instead of taking it out on each other, they would take it out on Ken, their coach.
I guess so. But they need the vibes. They need to, like, you know, like Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes, they're friends. They know what the other one's thinking. They can predict the other one's movements. If you're beefing, fighting, not getting along,
it's not going to work.
Gonna have side effects on the field. And we can gather based on what Stefon Diggs' brother is tweeting that there's some truth to this. So his brother plays
for the Cowboys. Yeah, he's a cornerback for the Cowboys.
What a sporty family.
I know. Stefon and Trayvon.
Stefon and Trayvon, both NFL players. So Trayvon, the Cowboys player, Monday after the game ended, he tweeted, man, 14 got to get up out of there, crying emoji. It was like the like screaming emoji and then the crying emoji. And 14 is Stefon's number. And so what that tweet means is he's got to get off the Bills. And then Tuesday morning, 10:32 a.m., he tweeted, let's not forget, he didn't start going off till bro got there. Which means everyone thinks Josh Allen is like popping, but
he needs Stefon.
Like he started playing, but he wasn't that good when he first started. And then my brother got there, and now everybody's like, oh, Josh Allen, and he's dating Haley Steinfeld, and he's a star. But what Trayvon is saying is that he needs Stefon. That probably didn't help the rift that your brother's like shit tweeting.
I know.
Me.
Now I'm sure it's even worse.
Yeah.
But
so
yeah, I mean, Josh Allen, he's not had a great season. He has thrown the most interceptions in the NFL, including 2 that happened on Monday.
That's crazy because you hear about all these bad quarterbacks, like these rookies who can't get a freaking touchdown to save their life. And you think Josh Allen is like a good, but the most interceptions, like he's just throwing it out to anybody.
I know. It's not good. And Stefon Diggs only had like 3 catches during the game on Monday night. So I could see why his brother's frustrated.
Vibes are off.
I'm sure, vibes. And we talked last week about how locker room vibes are important.
Mm-hmm.
So
it all comes down to this. Maybe it'll come to a head and they'll fight on the field. Or maybe they'll get it together and the guy being fired will have like a good trickle down and everything will get better.
I hope so.
But I sort of hope they fight. We'll see whose wishes
I hope
come true.
Stefon Diggs gets traded to the Patriots.
Oh, they need help. They need the help.
We'll take him.
We'll see
Or
if,
Josh
if
Allen.
Trayvon
We'll take
approves.
either one.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep an eye on the beefs, the drama, the lyric changes,
The bricks.
the bricks,
Bricks being thrown.
and more. So tune in to find out.
And stay juicy.